Hello, everyone. Question on my mind today is how do you recap a year? Well, I can look at how many photographs I've taken, which is 8,581 photographs at Fort Ticonderoga this year. I have my photos broken up into individual catalogs. So Fort Ticonderoga has its own catalog, and I do the catalogs by year. And you can tell from the number of photographs, that's why I try to break it up. Lightroom does a really good job, which is what I use Lightroom Classic. And I've had larger catalogs, but I noticed that there can be some issues when the catalogs get too large. So I try to keep the catalogs to a year, which runs me anywhere from the low. I think last year was the lowest one I've done so far at 8,000. I usually do 10,000 photographs in a year at the fort. So that's one way to recap the year. Another way to recap the year is what did I get accomplished this year? Well, other than the podcasts and the photographs at the fort, I had a kind of busy year at work, which precluded me from doing a lot of things. And one of the things I didn't get a chance to do much this year was fly the drone. So I didn't have any new drone photographs to add into my collection, nor any new drone photographs or videos to post onto the YouTube site. So hoping that I'll get to that next year. And I guess that's the best way to recap a year, is to look at what you've done and figure out what you want to do more of next year. I am very grateful for the opportunity to take the photographs at Fort Ticonderoga. I am grateful that those photographs will end up, some of them in fundraising materials for the fort to help them get more money to continue their mission. Also, the fort is going through a year of category at this point. So everything they've done, they try to do it around the date that would have happened about 250 years ago. So that's been a wonderful opportunity to do that. Again, other things intruded this year quite a bit. And while I love taking the photographs, there wasn't enough time to relax and to take the photographs. It was more rushing from one thing to another over the course of the year, with work taking up a large quantity of time during the day, and meaning that I want to do something a little more relaxing at night, and can't get a lot of photographs done at night. I do have the Etsy store up and running, and some of my photographs, not from the fort, but some of the other photographs I've taken this year, were for the products that I put up on Etsy, like the night lights that I have right now, doing the photographs and the videos of those night lights so that they could be posted onto Etsy. But that's where this year ended up. Not exactly where I had planned it to start, but then again, things came up in between that directed me on this path, so I could do the best that I could with what I had. Of course, getting up to the fort and taking the photographs up there is a primary thing for me for that volunteer work. I love to do the volunteer work up there and get those photographs captured. The people at the fort, the staff, and the reenactors who come in put so much effort and are so meticulous in the outfits that they have, in the things that they do, in the way that they do things, that I feel it needs to be captured, and I'm happy that I'm one of the people who gets to capture them. So next year, if things stay calm, which they may not, but if they do, I want to get more of the photographs taken from the drone. I have an Autel drone which I love the orange because for me it makes it much easier to spot it against the blue sky than the I've had some issues trying to spot DJI drone because of the gray color on it. Of course, Autel came out with a gray one. God only knows why. But anyway, to me, that bright color makes it easier to spot. So next year, get some more drone photographs done. Get some more drone videos done. I have all the gear here to go do some nice waterfall videos and have not had the opportunity to go out and do much. I've got a couple that I was able to capture, but that's been about it. And as you know, when you're capturing something like a waterfall, you have to put lenses over your lens to cut down the amount of light coming in so that you can slow that shutter speed down so that you're not capturing those droplets hanging in the air, but you're capturing that flow. It makes it look fog-like. And the secret to that is being able to slow that shutter speed down. Not so far that you're going too below, but just enough to blur it a little bit. Now, there's something to be said for capturing a stop motion of a waterfall, freezing as quickly as possible, and seeing all those little droplets and things. That's fascinating to look at, but it does not make for a very traditional nor a smooth looking photographs. It looks a little jarring, but again, you're shooting it for the purpose of capturing those droplets. If you're shooting it for the purpose of a waterfall, you got to get that flow. And in order to get that flow, you've got to be able to blur it. And the only way to blur a waterfall, especially in sunlight, is to be able to step that down so that you can drop down your shutter speed. But again, that brings in more light. And so you need these neutral lenses to go over your lens and step that down so that you're getting less light coming into your camera so that you can step down your shutter speed. So 2006, hopefully more drone photographs, a lot more photographs at the fort again, as always, and we'll see what else the year brings. And that's what I got for you guys to wrap up 2025. Talk to you all on the other side.